but this is number one takeaway from OTAs. I know you've been talking about the secondary. Is that
well? We could go in a lot of different directions, but I mean, and you know, there were a bunch of guys that weren't there. Right there. So you got to factor that in. But the number one takeaway is that the two guys that I thought looked the best are the spot that everybody had all this concern about, and that is the safety tandem of Jimmy Ward and Talanoa Hufanga. Ward looked awesome. I mean, he could play a game this second. I mean, he's flying around. He's in terrific shape. He just looked incredible out there. He looked like he could play Sunday. I mean, he's playing fast. He knows the scheme. He's instinctive. He's in shape. He looks terrific. So he's your free safety. But Talanoa Hufanga, who, you know, was a gold helmet designation in the draft when they took him 2 years ago, this guy gets nothing but better and better and better and better. He was the defensive player of the year in the Pac-12. You know, that's the thing. It's amazing. We get so caught up, Ryan, in measurables that just because he didn't quite have the measurables, he didn't quite have this 40 time, and he wasn't quite as big and as physical as they wanted. He didn't quite fit the NFL perfect box of size and speed for his position coming out. He immediately was like a mid-round pick. He was the defensive player of the year in the Pac-12. You know, I mean, and so he's a very good football player. The question was, did he have the measurables to play in the NFL? He demonstrated that he did. He improved from special teamer to contributor from scrimmage to significant player from scrimmage last year, made one of the biggest plays in the NFC NFC divisional round game at Lambeau Field, where he recovered the fumble and scored the touchdown. But he also made a great play late in that game when Rodgers tested him deep middle, and he was there, you know, in the coverage, stride for stride with the receiver. And now here we are in OTAs, and he's had an NFL offseason, and he's quicker, and he's faster, and he knows the defense better, and he's moving more naturally, and he doesn't look right like, is he a special teamer? No, not a special teamer. Starter. And then you're looking at him going, well, wait a second, well, is he a starter who can't stand up in coverage? Is he going to be below out? He looks faster than last year. And I'm telling you, this guy gets better and smarter. Then we heard D'Amico Ryans talk about him after practice, and he's calling him Huff, and Huff does this and Huff does that. They love him.
Sounds like Loon. Exactly.
They love Huff. And, you know, I love Hufanga as well. I mean, he is tremendous. Football is important to him. Football is what he wants to be great at. Football is what he's obsessed with getting better at. That's what you need. You need guys do you need everybody to be, you know, top of the scale physically? More importantly, you need guys who love the sport and know the game. And especially in the instinctive part of the field, when you're an inside linebacker, when you're a safety and you're reading and reacting and you're pre-snap and your film study, and all that goes into making you literally faster on the field because your recognition's better because you're recognizing things through film study, and your intellect as a player makes you faster, you're not seeing things you haven't seen. You're identifying the patterns. You're recognizing the play pre-snap. You're flowing naturally towards the ball. You're making good decisions. So this guy gets better and better and faster and stronger, and his body is you always kind of rework your body. From you lose a little bit of fat, you gain a little bit of muscle. You're spending more time training. You're a pro now. You're not a college student anymore. You have money to eat the right foods and eat at the right times. And these guys have nutritionists, and they're in the weight room and they're watching. I mean, this guy cares about getting better. And you can see every single time the team reconvenes, he's better. He's better. He was better in November than he was in October. He was better in October than he was in training camp. He was better in the playoffs than he was in November. I mean, and now here we are, another calendar year later. It's May. We're still a couple of weeks from camp. But I'm telling you, free safety and strong safety and safety overall, which last year and going into the draft, you would have thought, oh my goodness, that's the biggest